Hello everybody and welcome at tonight's 2021.2 SimLegends Div2 race. I will be your host tonight. It's me, Sas van der Westhuizen, and I'm joined in the booth again by Mr. Pieter Geldenhuys. Pieter, hello, how are you?
Hi, Sas. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me again. And I'm actually very much forward to this race. Backer off.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. We'll switch over to the regular stream just now. Everybody is still getting ready. We're in the last bouts of practice, so I'm gonna start getting ready. Hopefully, we can have some fun tonight.
I must say, if you look at what happened on Monday night with the Division 1 race, I would think this following in that footsteps is going to be very, very awesome.
So, still one or two drivers out doing donuts, funny things. Trying to find someone still probably driving around. Yes, so Pieter Grobler is still on a last hot lap. In the meanwhile, let me maybe quickly start going through tonight's race. So we're at Goodwood, just bringing up the track map there. It's you partook in the Division 1 race on Monday night, Pieter. How did you find this track?
I have to say, yeah, it was when initially I started practicing on the track, it was actually quite difficult for me. You had to really be disciplined and get the lines right because slightly offline, and especially with these minis, you put a wheel on the grass and it's a nightmare to get back. And I must say, it took me probably around 200 laps to get comfortable with the racing and with the track and the car handling and so on. Yeah, it for me, it was actually quite tricky.
Overall, from what Alan and I could see, it looked like a lot of fun. It's looking at it, it's almost it looks almost like just an oval, but there's enough undulations on track as Peter mentions, to make it to make your job as a driver very, very difficult. Cool. Quickly gonna also hop over to the weather. So we're starting the race at 11 a.m. in the morning. There's an ambient temperature of 21 degrees with the track temperature itself on a 19 degrees. And there's a nice 10 kilometer an hour southern wind blowing. So it's nice. It's making things nice and tough for the drivers. Really looking forward to this and seeing how things pan out. So back to our regular scheduled programming. I don't have the lap guide. I forgot about downloading the lap guide, but I'm sure you can go back to Monday night stream and go have a quick look at what a quick lap looks like. But right now, everybody is on their out lap. They're getting ready. It takes about, a minute and a half to... a lap is about a minute and a half, so we should be expecting the first lap times around the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, I have to say, if I look at Hein van Niekerk getting out there, Hein van Niekerk also was quickest in Division 2 HLQ and 134.28, and I think the bottom of the pack was 136.7. So yes, about 2.5 seconds for the division, top to bottom. I'm sure the guys put in some more practice looking at Mondays, what happened on Monday, and I think they will probably be, some of them, a little bit quicker than the HLQ results.
Definitely. I need to quickly turn up your volume my side a bit. I'm struggling to hear you over the extreme loudness that are these engines. So hopefully I'll be able to compensate a bit for that as well. Stream is looking fine. Just double checking everything is still working. All right. So I'm on board with Mr. Carl Stieg right now. I'm just enjoying the liveries that everyone had submitted. The Stieg Autosport. I'm not sure if that's that's a laminate that he put over his over the car panels, or if he made some car panels out of wood. Gonna be interesting seeing how those hold up tonight when he's going to be doing some rubbing as racing there.
I have to say, if I look at the liveries, the guys did an awesome job, and the cars are looking amazing. And yeah, it's we'll see how they look after the first race, and see if yeah, what needs to be repaired and repainted.
Okay, someone must be on a hot lap already. We're getting close. I'm still staying on board with Mr. Steeg there, just trying to see what his lines are like coming around these last around Woodcote, almost reaching to the getting to the chicane now. Does look like he was one of the first ones out, so we should start seeing times popping up now. So Wesley Ferrand does a 35.1. Bunch of times popping up right now. Okay, Donnie Stander, he goes up into fourth, with Sean Verveje taking third there with a 135.6.
I see Wesley is still about half a second under his HLQ time. I think he did a 134.4 in HLQ. See James Leach Senior goes now quickest, 135.1.
And Ryan Hill pops up with a relatively slow time. I think everybody is still getting a bit of a feel for what the cars are capable of. Just hopping to our leader, James Leach Senior there. I think he might be on an outlap right now. He's definitely working that mini hard, going around these corners, almost sliding sideways there. So 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. We still have a bit of quali left to go. Looking quickly going to have a look at what happened with HLQ, just to give an idea of where times are at. Oh no, there it is. All right, so I'm looking through HLQ right now. Our fastest there was Hein van Niekerk in a 134.2, followed by Valerio Antonucci with a 134.3 and Wesley Ferrand with a 134.4. So looking at these times, Wesley not quite there yet. We do see Pieter Grobler bumping up into pole position there. It was followed by Stefan Herbst, who also does a sub 135. Mr. Leach is probably starting a good hot lap now. Ryan Hill is improving to 6th position there, so he manages to put together a nice and clean lap. Ndapandula, he is currently 2/10 up on his delta. Apologies, jumped away a bit too quickly there. He also hasn't done a full lap yet. Sorry, I'm just mentioning this looks like a new driver to me. It's always great seeing new drivers on track. Not sure if he is part of your team there, Peter. I'm seeing he's rocking the SRS
Yes.
the SRAC colors there.
Yeah, Cleopas Aula is one of the SRA crew drivers. Yeah, we've got four of my teammates in Division 2. Yeah, fortunately I'm going to join them next week, relative to what happened to me on Monday night. Yeah, so looking forward to what they can do tonight. I see Pieter Grobler is quite a bit faster than his HLQ times.
Is that perhaps a bit of sandbagging from Peter?
I think it's probably more to do with getting comfortable with the track and the car setups, and we did share a few setups late in the week, and yeah, hopefully I think he did find some magic somewhere.
Okay, so Alan De Neyer is coming across the line. He is 2 seconds up in his delta. That's going to bump him up to 14th position. I was hoping to see him maybe dip into the into the 140, 135s there. But he's still up he's still a bit short there. And as I switch to Jan Niemand, it seems like he's had a bit of a spin. Let's go and see. Wesley is not currently up in his delta, although he has dropped to be, or he has managed a lap time below a 135.
I see Patrick Lingley currently in 18th place. He's about a second up on his time, so he will definitely improve a few places.
Oh, so he's coming down the Levant straight. I need to quickly remember where. Well, Levant is just before Woodcote, so he's getting close there. It's just the chicane. If he can still keep it going, hopefully whoever is in front of him doesn't hold him up. But he gets through. Oh, he's slightly wide. I think that might have invalidated his lap. So he'll be going out on a new lap, trying to see if he can put together a clean one there. And that's in the. I almost thought it was one of the base liveries, but that's the LLC liveries. One of the red ones with the white racing stripes. Not sure if Rian is here. Yes, let me actually quickly say hello to everybody in YouTube chat. So I'm seeing Rian Oberholzer, Christy Simon, Sean Bingham, Dirk Brandt, and Renier Leach. Hello there, everybody. Welcome at tonight's race. In 15th position, Rian van der Westhuizen is currently a good 1.5 seconds up on his delta. Going through the chicane, keeps it alive, and he's improving a lot more. That's going to net him quite a bit of positions there, and he jumps up into 4th. Keeping in mind, on Monday night we saw that the top 3 start side by side, followed by 2 cars, and then again by 3, and the pattern continues like that. So currently the top 3 there, Pieter Grobler, Wesley Ferrant, and Stefan Harps, they're sitting on the front row, with Rian van der Westhuizen and Ryan Hill on the second row.
See, Wesley is on a flyer. He's probably about 3/10 up, so he can probably jump to pole if he can get through the lap.
I think all that pole really buys you is the inside line, so it's interesting seeing that play out. Gonna hop to Wesley quickly as he's coming around Woodcote. It's just a chicane left for him to navigate. Keeps it tidy, and that will secure pole position for him.
Yeah.
A well done, well-deserved pole lap there for Wesley. So that's a sub 34. Definitely pushing past what he was capable of. Valerio Antonucci currently 6/10 up on his delta. He's coming down the main straight right now, so he'll also be jumping up quite a few positions. And he jumps to 10th. Pieter Grobler, one of the last cars still out on track. He's looking like he's about on his bubble.
First part of the lap he was on 0.3 up, but then he lost it.
Oh, and now he's lost a bit more, so I'm not sure if he's going to abandon the lap.
I think that's it. I think everyone is back into pits, and Peter was the last guy.
Okay, let's go for a quick ad break, and then we'll be right back, everybody. Okay, and we're back. Everybody is sitting on grid there. Now I forgot the order, so my list is kind of all over the place. Wesley on pole, Pieter Grobler in second, and was it Adrianel? No, Adrianel is showing as a DNF. Stefan Herbst on third there. So we're almost at the point where the lights are starting to go out. 10 seconds more, then it should start showing up.
As you said, the first three, the top three in one line. So like you say, the inside corner is quite critical.
All lights are on. They drop the clutch and away they go. Ooh, Pieter Grobler getting a really good start there. Wesley being left almost in the dust there. As they're coming into the first corner, looks like pack is spreading out a bit. So Wesley dropping down to fourth. Losing out a bit there, but well done to Pieter Grobler for taking taking the lead there right on the start.
There's only Johan Niemand and Ivan Karamaker that had a bit of a problem. They getting up to speed.
I'm seeing lots of movement all over the place. So Ryan Hill dropping down a bit. Wesley losing out yet again.
Nice battle for second place so far between Stefan Herbst and Hein van Niekerk.
So Pieter is looking like he's going to be running away with us tonight. Wesley taking that position back, trying to quickly see Sean. I'm just dropping down the field a bit. Ooh, someone has had a bit of a spin. That looks like Rian van der Westhuizen, who's gone off at Woodcote, and he's losing losing position there now.
Him and Wesley had a little coming together there, and yeah, he fell back. Right up to 14th place from Vos.
I am always very impressed with how close these cars can run, and we saw on Monday a bunch of trains. Ooh, someone running slightly wide there. Might have been Mr. Stieg. No, it wasn't called Stieg. It was one of the OC Breweries cars, I think. But anyway, so Denayer dropping down a bit, and Sean Hards as well. Still trying to keep my eye just out open for what battles are there. Up in third position, Stefan Herbst is closing down on Hein van Niekerk. They're going side by side. And I think Stefan might have the overtake done there. Yes! Oh, that's Hein van Niekerk running very, very wide. Hopefully he can rejoin safely. But it's very nicely held by Stefan Herbst, taking the inside line and making sure that he puts his nose in there and getting a clean overtake done. Just dropping back then, that's now allowing Wesley Ferrand to catch up to Hein. So he's also going to be looking to strike, and there's a big train behind them. I'm sure they'll be working hard to catch up, especially with how powerful people had said the slipstream is in these cars. Carl Stieg seeming to have a problem or two, dropping down all the way to 18th position. All of the gaps relaxing a bit. I'm just hopping to 6th position. James Leach right on the tail of Valerio Antonucci there.
Ryan Neal and Patrick Lingley in 10th, 11th place. They're having quite a nice dice as well.
And as Dirk mentions, he says the first lap fewer issues than on Div 1, so well done on everybody, seeing what happened or how difficult it can be with the cars so bunched up and allowing one another the breathing room. And as I say that, Wesley Ferrand managing to go past Hein van Niekerk there. That gap it grew a bit larger than I thought, and I saw a smaller gap between James Leach and Valerio Antonucci, and unfortunately missed that overtake. But Antonucci is now going to try and go for the move on Hein there.
The guys starting to get right into rhythm again. Ryan Neal and Patrick Lingley, they had quite a nice little race, and now Melvin Goos, it seems like he's getting up to speed.
He's closing in on the back of them there. Just trying to see if Valerio is going to close the gap. I'm keeping my eyes peeled. I'll switch to Melvin now, seeing as the gap is dropping a bit there. Ooh, Ryan getting slightly out of shape there, but he's still managing to hold on to the inside line there. Hopefully he can keep it together, although it does look like Melvin has got the better drive there. Both of them taking slightly different lines there, and it's allowing Melvin to hook up a drive on the inside, and that's going to give him the opportune position when at the end of the Lavant Straight they reach Woodcote to get a good overtake there. Timing board showing that he's already past Ryan now. Now it's all about making sure he can keep it clean through this sweep. Ooh, both hammering the curbs but keeping it together. Ryan having a look, maybe he thinks better of it going through the chicane there.
I have to say I was almost thinking there's going to be some issues there, because that chicane, it was my downfall on Monday night as well.
Yeah, I do remember someone saying that it's not quite possible to go side by side there. Ooh, Melvin getting slightly out of shape. Ryan right on his outside there. And Ryan takes the position back up in front. I do see Stefan Harps also passing Hein van Niekerk, but they're swapping positions. Oh no, Stefan and Hein coming together there. They've been off and they're heading back to track. That's unfortunate. Hopefully they can rejoin and get their heads down to continue racing.
They were with Wesley Ferrand 3 wide, and then something happened and both of them
okay. Were they battling hard and then had a bit of a moment. Ooh, Donnie Stunder following Sean Vaveje very closely there. Ooh, almost getting out of shape there as he pulls out of the slipstream.
Now, and Van Niekerk getting back up to speed after he's off. He had a little problem in the chicane. Actually, I had to miss the chicane and just go past, but he doesn't gain a position, and he holds his position going through there.
Okay, so Donnie managing to pull away from Sean Vaveje there now. Just keeping an eye. Hein is trying all as much as he can to get past Sean now. They're side by side, going into Ford Water now. And Hein manages to pull ahead. Now it's just all about keeping that position and working his way back up the pack. Just jumping down to 12th, Rian van der Westhuizen Ryan Hill and Melvin Goos. No, that's not Melvin Goos. I think that's Patrick Lingley. So Ryan Hill and Melvin losing it, going wide onto the grass.
Meanwhile, Wesley Ferrand passes Valerio
Ooh.
underneath for second place.
And I see Stefan Herbst and Sean Viveja is also side by side right now. I'll jump to the lead in a moment. I just want to see how this pans out. Okay, so Wesley and Valerio Antonucci. Valerio in that slipstream. I'm sure he's going to be coming back to try and fight for this position very soon. We've got about 10 minutes left, so that's half of the race still left.
Now this racing changed so quickly, and then you've another battle for 7th place.
It's just battles all over the place. No matter where I switch, I seem to be missing the overtakes. Although that is a three-way battle for 7th, so I'm switching to that. It's a nice train of minis there. Keen to see how this pans out. Hein just dipping his wheels on the grass there, but he manages to keep it together. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there with Donnie. He got out of shape a bit and then slid in front of Hein. That is unfortunate. Hopefully they can continue on. Also down in 13th position, Mr. Carl Steeg is right next to Rian van der Westhuizen there. Falls back a bit, trying to take a slightly different line, exploit the opportunity to try and get this overtake done and sorted with.
The battle for 2nd place is still going strong. Valerio Antonucci just running a little bit wide.
Just touching the barrier there. That's going to cost him valuable time doing that. James Leach Sr. is going to close down this gap. And maybe if they can sit in one another's slipstream, utilize it, they can close the gap back to Ferrand up ahead. I'm just quickly going to switch to Peter Grobler, who's just checked out. He's doing good lap after good lap. I'm sure you're... I hope I didn't offend anybody on Monday saying it looks a bit like a clown car, but I'm loving it. It's great seeing Peter up in front, and it's a very nice and striking livery there.
Now, I must say, I was quite amused by what you said. No offense, really. And that's why, I actually love the idea of this clown effect,
I'm just dropping back. I see Ryan Hill and Donnie Stunder switching positions. Not 100% sure what happened there. Actually up ahead, Melvin Goos. Ooh, next to Patrick Lingley, who just dips a tire on the inside line there, almost gets out of shape.
Yeah, Melvin did good to keep the outside line and to go around him now.
Sean Hards. Oh no, Donnie Stunder must have had a few more issues. Carl Steeg is in the pits, so maybe he's repairing.
And the chicane, another victim at the chicane. Yeah, James Leach Sr. unfortunately hit the inside wall of the chicane.
Oh no, he's standing. It's a very tight place there to be off track, so he's going to have to make sure that he re-enters cleanly, especially with traffic coming up.
Now you end up with a nose onto that wall, and you have to actually reverse a little bit.
Yeah.
Get the car turned to the left.
So he gets going again. Sean Hards right next to him. I'm not sure if James Leach Sr. is maybe... Well, I'm not sure what the damage situation will be. Ooh, Sean sliding a bit there, but manages to keep it on track. For a moment I was worried he was going to slide just wide.
I can recall on Monday night and the racing as well. As soon as you see the guys tail sliding like that, it's that lift-off oversteer that you get.
Oh yes.
You have to you have to have control of it, to make sure you're just enough to just make the car turn and not too much
It's
lift off.
not an aggressive lift. You need to be a bit more a bit smoother with the lift, I'm assuming.
Yes, totally, yeah. Because
Uh,
as soon as you do it aggressively, that tail just steps out.
Ryan Hill managing to pull up alongside Patrick Lingley now. But thus far, everything's still looking very good. Everybody's going. Holstig is a lap down, but I'm sure he's going to work hard. This is not the race where we do division promotions and demotions, so he can still come back and have a decent result for the next race.
Yes, totally, yeah.
Okay, so now that Ryan has passed Patrick, he's kind of running away from him. I see in the background there Donnie Stander and Alan Denayer and Sean Hodds having a bit of a swap around.
Still in the first place, Peter Grobler, Wesley Ferrand and Valerio Antonucci in the top 3 guys. Each of them about 6-7 seconds from each other.
Yeah, they've now very much checked out, and they're just making sure that they can maintain the gap. Antonucci is not quite out of the woods yet. Aula is doing very, very well on this opening race. I'm sure he's going to be closing in on 3rd position very soon. And up ahead, Rian van der Westhuizen having a bit of a moment. Patrick Lingley as well. That allows James Leach Sr. to get past. And Ryan Hill and Melvin Gous still battling it out for 8th position there. This is a battle that had been going down for quite some time there. Just quickly catching up on YouTube there. Hello, Kurt Lawrence. Rob Walker is there as well. And Brandon, as well as Niku Smith. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the action tonight.
As you mentioned, Aula, very silently creeping up on Valerio Antonucci. I must say he's doing a great job to keep it clean and on the track.
Antonucci is really working that Mini hard. Not looking like he's going straight most of the time. He's just slightly sliding, trying to work it as hard as possible. Lots of position swapping down in the field.
I think Rian van der Westhuizen and Patrick Lingley are coming together. Like they're getting back on track.
That's unfortunate. So it looks like they're going again. Keeping my eye out, I see Sean Hodds is still right on the back of Donnie Stander. Just switching to them quickly.
What I found interesting about these minis is when you get to the turn-in position, you actually have to get yourself turned in a little bit earlier, and then mid-corner you actually have to do some adjustments on the turn to get you through the corner.
As you're saying that, I'm going to have to action replay that. I'm not sure what happened there, but it seems like Donnie Stander or Alan Denayer had a bit of a moment. So Denayer up in front. He goes on the exit curb, loses it slightly. He rejoins safely, but then Stander dips a wheel on the outside and loses control completely, just missing Sean Hodds. Yo, that was a rough moment.
It was close. It went between those two cars.
Definitely a Code Brown moment there. So it's looking like Ola had a bit of a... He must have put a foot wrong somewhere. That gap has now grown again to 1.8 seconds. There is 1 minute left. I'm quickly going to jump to Peter to see where on track he is. He's crossing the finish line about now. So he does a 1:34.9, and that is going to be the last lap of this race. And then we get to do this all over again. Ooh, Stefan
yeah,
Herbst.
Ola had an incident just before the.
Oh, that's
straight.
unfortunate. Did he run wide on Woodcote?
Yes. He did it safely return into 5th place. He lost that 4th place.
In 6th and 7th position, Sean Verveje and Hein van Niekerk. Hein going it up on the inside there. Now it's all about keeping it clean, keeping it consistent. Sean opting to brake a little earlier, trying to go and get a good exit so that he can fall back into the toe of Hein there. They're side by side. Ooh, Sean Verveje. Oh, no, that is unfortunate. Sean just dipping a wheel there out onto the grass, and he's now off mowing some lawns. In 12th, Alan Denayer, right on the back of Sean Hards. I'm trying to keep an eye out for when to switch to Pieter Grobler. He's run an extremely good race tonight.
To the chicane now, going onto the main straight.
Okay, so in the meanwhile, I'm switching to that. Well done to Pieter Grobler on a well-deserved win. That's Carl Stieg, I think, following closely behind. So he's settled into his 18th position. Wesley Ferrand takes 2nd. Valerio Antonucci coming in for a well-deserved podium finish. And Stefan Herbst takes 4th position. Aula coming in with a solid 5th for a first race here on the minis. Well-deserved position there for him.
Well done, yeah.
And Hein, Hein was next to someone, but I think that was a back marker. Ivan Karamaker, I'm assuming. Malvin Goos, James Leach Sr. should be following soon. And Sean Verveje. Unfortunately, no top 10 reverse grid tonight, so Ryan not in the optimal position. All right, so that is race 1 almost sorted. Just waiting for the last few drivers to come and finish.
I must say, action-packed, changing of positions.
Definitely.
Right, awesome.
So Donnie Stander, second last person to come and cross the finish line. Only driver left still that needs to come through. Johan Niemand, he seems to have had a bit of a rough race. Cuts a bit there on the last corner. But it's there's still one more race and all the beans to play for. Okay. With that said, I am quickly going to go to an ad break to allow us time to switch over to the new next server. See everybody in just a bit. Okay, hello everybody, we're back. This is going to be race 2 of the 2 races we're having tonight. Again, it's preceded by a 10-minute qualifying session. So we're just waiting for everybody to come and join, get ready, and then we'll get going.
As we can see, the action happening in first race. The second race is just going to be like Dirk mentioned there, the guys can have fun in any division, and I must say, some great racing out there.
That is always the fun for SRSA for me. Speaking of, I wonder if I have that ready. No, let me quickly do that. So for anybody interested in joining, you can head on over to simracesa.co.za, grab a sign-up sheet there, and get yourself signed up. Where we have races every week in 4 different classes. So we've got the SimLegends we have here tonight. Next week we're back with the SimTC series, which is the 90s BTCC cars. The week thereafter we're back in the F3 cars for the SimGT series. And our flagship, well, not necessarily the flagship, but one of the big ones, the SimGT series that we host in Assetto Corsa Competizione, that's also happening. So this is only the first round of all of the races. There's still loads of racing to have for this season going forward. Head on over there, get yourself a sign-up sheet sent in. We do ask a minimum donation of 150 Rand that goes to our charity of choice. This time around, it's Abba. And thus far, we have managed to raise 2,638 Rand 88 cents, which honestly, every time I look at these numbers, it's just mind-blowing to me that the community pulls together and contributes to a great cause. This is money that goes directly to the charity. There's no skimming off of the top. You know that the money goes somewhere that really deserves it. Okay, so we're just waiting for the session to start. Everybody is sitting in pits right now. And look at how lovely that weather is.
Clear skies. Yeah, and as we know, Goodwood was the airfield in the early days. A great day for flying.
Definitely.
Just for some information, the first race was held at 1948. Was the first race held at the Goodwood racetrack.
That's an interesting tidbit of information there. I'm quickly going to try and hop on to people piling out of the pits here. It's looking like Johan Niemand is first to get out, so he'll be working hard at setting a good lap. 10 minutes, not a lot of time for quali. Or how did you experience that on Monday, Peter?
Initially, I battled because the first 3 or 4 laps I did make some mistakes, and so yeah, my first race qualifying was actually quite a boo-boo because I loaded the wrong setup, and hence why I was actually basically in 17th place when I started. So not a good one for me. Essentially, if you go out, you need to nail those lines.
Yeah, it's
like 10 minutes is not long.
It's difficult to not let the pressure get to you.
After my mishap, I said to myself, I must just focus on the race.
Yeah.
Hence why I was, I think, up to 6th place without making any mistakes. Going through when the guys had difficulties, I was managing to get up there. And then on the second last lap, I did one mistake, hit the inside wall of the chicane, and I was back to 14th place.
That is the unfortunate case that is racing like this. How does the The thing I like to say go every time: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Just quickly checking in chat there, SJS Games, hello. Also seeing Johan, I'm assuming it's Van der Velden. Hello there, Johan. You're asking what madness is this? For interest's sake, this is the game Assetto Corsa, and we're running a few mods here. This is an Austin Mini Cooper mod with it's been reinforced with a roll cage. It's got a pumped out engine there, but it's still the straight cut gearbox. Please correct me if I'm wrong there, Peter. I'm not I'm the virtual sim car guy, not so much the person who knows all of the real life cars in detail.
Yeah, yeah, now that you mention it, I actually don't have all the information with me. I'll quickly get it for us, and then we can just mention it, what it is, and the power output of these minis. Yeah, and you can just maybe talk about it.
Okay, so I'm still on board with Johan Niemand. He's coming down the Levant Strait right now. He's looking like he's going to be the first one to set a time, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled, and we'll then start switching between the various drivers to see what's going on and how things are moving about. Ooh, ran slightly wide. I don't know if that maybe invalidated his lap. He crosses the line and unfortunately does not set a time, so that has invalidated his lap. Peter Grobler right up there again with a 1:34.7 straight out the gate. Looking like a few drivers may be having issues. Patrick Lingley also crossing the line for a new hot lap. Just keeping an eye there. So Melvin Goos popping up. All of the drivers I'm jumping to, hoping that they might be setting decent laps. Okay, Stefan Herbst manages a 1:34 flat there. We did see Wesley manage a sub 1:34, so I'm keen to see that happening again. Maybe even having some of the other drivers manage it.
Oh well, they are busy putting in the laps. Just some information here. 125 horsepower, 140 Newton meters torque, full race roll cage, racing suspension and dampers. Yeah, that's for the mod.
So it's not a stock standard Mini. These ones, they're made for racing. You can also see on their headlights, it's the how did Alan say, the masking tape to prevent the lights from just shattering and glass falling on the road there. But I must say, I really like the red tape on your SRAC cars. It's making it look like, from far away, it's making those lights just look slightly angrier than they maybe should.
Yeah, and if we can resemble back to the clown issue, you get some angry clowns out there.
Definitely. Okay, so Sean Hards crosses the line for a 1:36.2. Still 4.5 minutes left of quali.
James Leeds Senior, he's on about 0.4 under his up on his delta, so he'll probably be improving a bit if he can get it through the lap.
Yeah. So that will, if he can keep it clean for the rest of this lap, that will bump him up into 4th. Correction, 5th, as Donnie Stunder manages to sneak in a 1:34.9. I see Dirk Brandt asking the weight stats for the minis. I'm not sure if that is available. weight. So I'm just looking in Content Manager quickly. It's looking like the weight of the car is about 620 kilograms. So with a max speed of about 200 kilometers per hour. So pretty it's a pretty dynamite comes in small packages. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Sean Viveje managing to... Okay, no, he's just flying up on a hot lap there.
Peter Grobler, in the meantime, went to pole position.
Ooh, he's done a 133.8 there. Wesley Ferrand doing a 204, so he still has to lay down some pace if he wants to have a good start to this race. Maybe he's just taking the reserved view and saying, I'm starting from the back. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing Peter Grobler is coming through Woodcote right now. He's 3/10 up on his delta, so he's finding a bunch of pace right now. Crosses the line to do a 133.8, so he lost a bit of time there through the chicane, it seems.
Yeah, that chicane is so tricky you have to scrub off speed to get the lines right, get the weight transfer right, because if you just get it a bit off balance, it just, you run off the track on the exit of the chicane and the whole lap is gone.
Okay, so I'm trying to just get back to Wesley there. He manages to do a 133.9 on the dot, a 10th slower than Peter Grobler. He does have enough time for one last flying lap. I see Rian van der Westhuizen disconnecting again. Maybe he's having some issues. Hopefully it's not too big a problem.
James Leach Senior is up on his delta and then he loses a little bit, so he's there and there about.
So he's right on his bubble.
Getting some delta times now.
On the Levant Straight. It's all about, it seems that a lot of drivers, they're struggling a bit with that chicane. Doing very well throughout the rest of the lap, then the pressure of the chicane can becomes a bit too much. Hopefully I'm not cursing James Leach Sr. too much there. I'm holding thumbs for a good finish to this lap. Keeps it nice and tidy. He is losing a bit of his delta. It's dropping a bit like a stone, but he will improve, and he does. He bumps up into 4th. That will put him on the 2nd row for the race start. Stefan Herbst coming through Woodcote right now. He is 1.5 tenths up on his delta, jumping up to 2 tenths. So he is finding a bit of pace here in the last sector. Hopefully he can keep it clean. Oh, he gets a bit of a bad exit out of the chicane. He will cross the line with an improved time though. Oh, it's just not enough to pip Wesley in this last moment. I'm quickly going to switch to Wesley. No, he has parked it. He said enough is enough. I am not having any more of that. Just quickly hunting for some last minute laps by people. Sean Hards in the pits. Ryan Hill, he was standing still, so not sure if he can still do a decent lap. Donnie Stander, unfortunately he improves, but it's not enough to bump him up one position. All right, so James Leach Sr. still one of the last drivers to come and cross. Oh, and he runs wide. That's going to invalidate his lap. So while Ryan is coming down the pit straight into the pits, that is everybody. So we've got Peter Grobler, Wesley Ferrand and Stefan Herbst on road 1. James Leach Sr., and Aula on road 2. So let's go for a quick ad break, and then we'll be back, hopefully on with everybody sitting on the grid. Okay, we still seem to be waiting for overtime, and as I'm saying that, they take over. Everybody jumps to the grid, getting ready. Just gonna focus my camera. Try and find a good angle there. So, focusing, I'm looking right at Wesley Ferrand right now. He managed to get second position with Pieter Grobler in pole. And is that Stefan Herbst right next to them? So Stefan also starting on the front row. Sure, he's going to be battling it out, trying to get elbows out early. 20 seconds to go. Everybody hopefully is ready. I didn't see anybody go to pits for fuel. It was only Carl Stieg after he had that accident. So hopefully everybody is settled and they're not running the risk of ruining the race, because this is the one that counts for division promotions and demotions. 3, 4, 5, 6 lights, revving those little engines, and away they go. Wesley again having a slightly bad no, not a slightly, he's got a very, very bad start there. Aula managing to pass him right on the straight there. And Stefan Herbst keeping it nice and wide, nice and tidy. I do see someone going off. The drivers are cutting. Ooh, that's going to result in a bit of a argy-bargy crashing in the background. Hopefully everybody can continue fine. There's a few cars caught up. Everybody must just calm down, get back in the race, and let's see what they can manage.
Yeah, as soon as you have one guy putting a wheel off, and yeah, the other guys are just passengers for that incident. But the other guys will get back up to speed quickly. Stefan Herbst actually passed Pieter Grobler.
Ooh, so Stefan is going to try and dictate the pace right now. Although Pieter is right up next to him there in...
Now Stefan ran a little bit wide, coming onto the Levant straight.
So Pieter back in the lead, but Stefan is right on his tail, and he is going to try and take a slightly different line. Ooh. I always think that they're going slightly wide there on entry, but Pieter just putting his foot wrong. That's allowing Aula to take to take second position there. And James Leach also manages to sneak by Grobler. Big train of cars coming down the main straight. It's lovely seeing this.
Pieter Grobler and Wesley Ferrand.
That is unfortunate. I'm gonna try and see if I can find the battle. Seeing Melvin Goos and Carl Stieg right next to, well, right behind one another. Does look like Wesley is driving slowly. He's maybe waiting for Pieter Grobler to let him by. Stieg and Goos side by side, coming into Ford Water or out of Ford Water there. Oh, keep it clean and run great races like this. This is the type of racing I want to see. Someone else, Ryan Hill spinning. Oh no, he'll have to get going quickly. It's still very early in the race though. Maybe the pressure of being demoted or promoted is getting a bit tough for everybody.
Yeah, nice battle between Carl and Melvin, leaving enough room for each other.
Carl almost touching the rear quarter of Melvin there. on the inside, keeps it clean. Melvin taking this wider line, hoping that he can get a good exit up in front. That is Hein van Niekerk. Oh, there's a bit of crashing around happening. People seem to be pushing a bit harder this race, and it's costing them dearly. Calm down, keep your head low. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast.
Up front, we still have Stefan Herps with our Ola in second place, but James Leach Sr. is hunting down Ola now.
I'll switch to that quickly. I'm sure James Leach Sr. is going to be closing in on this gap. And while that is happening, I'm just keeping an eye out. Donnie Stander is right on the tail of Wesley Ferrand there, although I think Wesley might have hadn't managed an overtake there earlier. And I'm not going to claim commentator's curse for that. Donnie I was focusing on Donnie way earlier. That was his own mistake. That's unfortunate. He dips wide onto the grass, and he'll have to come and battle it out to try and work his way back. All right, James Leach Sr. managing the overtake. Ola is nowhere to be seen. He might have
off again just before the.
Oh, okay, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Ryan Hill and Patrick Lingley. They'd been looking very racy earlier in the first race. I'm keen to see what they can do. Although Ryan does lose a position to Donnie Stander there. Peter Grobler, what happened to him?
Also the chicane.
Ooh,
Wide out of the
pushing
exit of
too
the chicane.
hard, hoping it's the pressure is just a bit too much.
Yeah, and Carl Steeg and Melvin goes still at it. Up front, we still have Stefan Herps and then James Leach Sr. in second place. Nandampula Aula in third, Johan Niemand in fourth, Stefan Herps, Sean Harts in fifth, and then Melvin Goos and Carl Steeg having a great battle for sixth place.
Ooh, I'm gonna switch to that. I want to see them side by side. Carl throwing it up on the inside there, keeping it nice and clean. Just parks it in front of Melvin. Going into the chicane, Melvin knows better than to try and go side by side. It's going to be about focusing on the exit and maintaining that slipstream, trying to stay in the tow for the overtake. I seem to have a bit of a frog in my throat. Hein van Niekerk in pits, dropping down like a stone. Oh no, he disconnected. That is unfortunate.
Sean Hart's also right behind Johan Niemand for battle for fourth place.
I'll keep my eye on that delta right now. Melvin is still on the tail of Carl Steeg here. And Wesley Ferrand is also joining in on this battle.
Now, as you mentioned, it's going to be a three-way battle just now.
Melvin goes side by side with Carl Steeg there. I think he's going to have this overtake done with before the corner. Are they side by side? Looks like they're still side by side. Melvin almost running wide, but they're keeping it going nicely. Carl just parking it in front of Melvin again. before the chicane, knowing that it's difficult to get past there.
I see Ola also had a little, small little off at Woodcote. Seems like he's battling with that corner just before the chicane and sometimes losing a little bit of time. Allowed Johan Niemand and Sean Harts to almost catch him now.
Just jumping forward there, Sean Hard's right on the back of Johan Niemand. Oh no! Johan Niemand just losing control there. That is unfortunate. That's not the line you want to take. You want to try and keep it consistent instead. Down below, Pieter Grobler and Patrick Lingley switching places.
Carl Steeg and Melvin Goos and Wesley Ferrand, they caught up now to Johan Niemand for the 5th place battle. So now it's going to be a 4-way battle for 5th.
I'm just trying to get to Carl Steeg quickly. Let me quickly see. Car cameras. How is that for a car camera? Carl Steeg working the steering wheel hard. They're trying to catch up to Johan Niemand now. Niemand having a bit of a bad exit.
If Carl can keep it in the slip, he can maybe dive onto the inside for the first corner.
And behind them, Wesley Ferrand side by side with Melvin Goos as well. Ooh, there's a slight door touch by Steeg on Niemand, I think, on going through the corner. Ooh, Wesley also having a bit of a moment. I couldn't see exactly what is happening there. Quickly going to do an action replay. My video is playing very choppily, but it seems to be going. So Carl Steeg on the inside, and behind him Ferrand and Goos next to one another. Yes, there's a slight door banging, and Wesley just lost it on his own volition there, almost taking out Goos in the background. That's going to be tough to recover from, but it's very, very doable to do so.
Now Wesley, I think, reacted on the initial incident and probably went a little bit wide there. Meanwhile, Carl and Melvin is about 0.7. Carl's about 0.7 ahead of Melvin. I'm sure Melvin will not just leave it there. Will probably go and hunt Carl down again.
Ooh, Melvin running a bit wide there. He does keep it together through Woodcote. Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is exactly as I said earlier, the weight balance, getting into that to break and then just loses it out when the balance shifts.
It just catches you out when you don't necessarily want it to. Alright, so all of the gaps relaxing a bit, although Dani Stander is right on the back of Patrick Lingley there.
Wesley Ferrand recovering nicely. He's going after Pieter Grobler now in 7th place.
I'll watch that gap with a hawk eye. Dani Stander is currently just closer than Ferrand on Patrick Lingley's. Going sideways there around the corner. That's going to lose him a bit of time. And Wesley does swap places with Pieter Grobler up in front, as well as and so does Dani Stander on Patrick Lingley.
Peter actually went down off the road at
okay. So that was not a battle overtake. That was a mistake. A gifted position. That's unfortunate for Peter. He was doing so well in race 1. I was sure he was going to take it flag to flag in race 2 as well. I see Sean Hards and Ahula swapping places. Sean was off, so Ahula is able to catch up there. It's sorry, not Sean Hodge. It's Sean Hodge and James Leach swapping places.
Sean Hartz with Ola now right behind him. Battle for third place.
I am sure Ahula is going to be fighting hard for this one. He'll be ecstatic if he can get into Div 1.
Yeah, I think that target, that podium is definitely going to be a good motivator, yeah.
6 minutes and 15 seconds left in this race. Stefan Herbst is definitely just checked out in front. He is making sure that he keeps it clean, doing his best. I'm hoping to just manage the lap. I do see Wesley Ferrand and Pieter Grobler swapping places again, but I'm sticking with Sean Hodds and Ahula there. Ahula going on the inside of for the Levant Straight. Maybe he can make the move into Woodcote there. Think he might have had a slightly better exit, so he's up alongside Sean right now. It's going to be all about keeping it clean. Ooh, Sean running very, very wide there, but he's keeping it together and he's still up in front. So Ahula is not quite closing that gap as much as he had hoped. And further down below, Pieter Grobler and Wesley Ferrand again switching places. So they're having a right ding-dong battle there. I'm going to quickly switch to that.
They're coming up to the chicane now.
Just hear that whine of these straight cut gears, man. It's amazing.
Going through Magic corner. I was almost like that, saying you need some magic to get through this first corner. And then Fort Water is just a little kink to the right, and then the run up to St. Mary's, where balancing the car is quite critical.
Wesley almost getting it sideways there, but holding on nicely. Although Grobler is in the tow there.
Melvin Goes and Sean Hartz. I think that Sean Hartz probably had a problem. Aola is now in third place, Melvin in fourth, and Sean Hartz right behind Melvin in fifth.
Oh, okay. So Sean had a moment. That is a good promotion then for Ahula if he can hold on to it. Pieter Grobler and Wesley Ferrand side by side. Ooh, Ahula managed dropping down there. I'll switch to that battle just now.
Yeah, I think Ahula lost it on again at Woodcote, and I think Melvin unfortunately leading.
So Wesley comes out on top still. He managed to keep Pieter Grobler behind him, and I see Johan Niemand running very wide and runs into the barrier, then gets sent across the track. That is unfortunate. Patrick Lingley and Johan Niemand having a bit of... Oh, that was Johan still struggling to get away. Let me just give this man some airtime tonight. Stefan Herbst. He had an extremely good start tonight, starting on the outside there, holding on to the lead for quite some time now. There's 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in this race. By my calculation, he's coming up to the chicane right now. It means that there should be 2 more laps left on this race. He's starting his penultimate lap right now. And I'm back on Wesley Ferrand and Pieter Grobler for the battle for 7th.
Aola got up to speed again. He's chasing after Sean Hartz again.
I'll switch to that in just a moment. As soon as that gap drops to less than half a second. Oh no, it's jumping up again. So Ahula must have made a mistake, unfortunately.
Again the chicane.
It's all about keeping it clean, keeping it consistent. Carl Stieg is going to be all over the back of Ola right now. Not quite in the position to be able to fight their way back into third. I think if Sean Hards can keep his head clean now, Ola and Stieg battling it out will lead to them losing a bit of time.
Yeah, Sean can, if he can keep putting in the lap time, and held at about now 0.8 advantage, and I will get that podium. But yeah, as we speak, Ola is up on his delta, so maybe he's launching an attack. Now let's just hope Sean can get through the pressure.
Yeah, no, Sean is looking like he's making small, tiny mistakes. I'm going to stick with this battle. Stefan Herbst has already started his final lap. All three of them for third, fourth, and fifth getting through the chicane nice and cleanly. He maybe jump forward to Aula there quickly.
Yeah, well, they added, maybe just to mention, James Leeds Sr. in second place. Nice, solid performance. Keeping it clean and on the track. Very well done.
Carl Stieg really closing up on this gap right now. Last lap battling. This is what racing is about. We want to see this happening. Ooh, Aula just dipping his wheels onto the grass there, and unfortunately that allows Carl Stieg to slip by. Sean Hards has a pretty decent gap up ahead, so he can relax just a little, make sure that he just drives cleanly. Okay, Stefan Herbst takes first position. James Leach Sr., he's coming through the chicane right now, and he'll take a well-deserved second, which will be followed by Sean Hards in third, with the battle for fourth still very, very lively behind him.
Yeah, Carl managed to get past Ola.
As they're coming through to the chicane there, Carl Stieg keeping it very clean on his exit. Ahula following suit, as well as Melvin Ghost just getting a touch there, and almost a small taste there, and well-deserved finish there for all of them. Donnie Stunder bringing it home in 9th position. Followed by Patrick Lingley and Valerio Antonucci, who's still battling it out. This will be a photo finish. Valerio just pipping him in the end.
Oh, I just made it. Oh. Well, what a race.
That will be a photo finish. I am very curious to see how that compares. And our last driver, Ryan Hill, he's going to bring it home in 15th position. He's had a bit of a tough race this one. But I'm excited to see what he can do. Ooh, as I say that, he just runs off into the barrier after the chicane. Keep it together, keep it clean, finish the race. All right then. While all of this is going on, I am quickly going to switch back to this view. And let's see if someone is willing to come and join us for a quick interview.
I must say it was quite an exciting race, the second one. 2 issues at the start, just to summarize, and then basically we see that Stefan and James Leach Sr., they basically just kept it clean and heads down, and well-deserved first and second place. Third place battle was on for the whole race. Well done, Sean Hart, in getting that one.
Not seeing anybody rock up right now. I see Sean Hodds is online. I'm just not sure if he's willing, so I'll give him a quick moment to respond. But yo, that was fun. That was some really awesome racing. Had some good dice tonight, and overall, I'm excited to see that this is how we start this season. It's going to be great. Continuing on with this, and just all out enjoying it.
I must say, looking forward to the next one. The next one will be at Donington, if I'm correctly. So that is going to be a new challenge for us. Yeah, and hope the racing will continue like this.
Definitely. So next week, we are on round 2 of the SimTC series. Now I just need to quickly remember what is the next circuit going to be. So looking at our calendar, our next circuit is Donington. Going to be interesting seeing what happens there. I'm sure it's going to be a ton of fun seeing what everybody can do. And there is still time for everybody else keen to come and join in on the action. Remember, head on over to simracesa.co.za, find the sign-up form there, submit an entry. We as admins will try and get back to you as quickly as possible, and hopefully we can see you racing very soon as well. Okay, I'm not going to pull in Sean Hodds because I'm not sure if he is keen. If not, it's not looking like anybody is waiting for us right now. Then I think this is a good point to call it. Peter, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think the guys did a good job. Like I say, practice makes perfect, and yeah, we'll look out for the next one, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side again. Great racing, guys. Awesomely done. Thank you.
Really looking forward to the next round. So thank you everybody for joining us, and have a good week. We'll see whoever is streaming. It's very likely going to be Alan and me again on Monday. We'll be back then. Until then, have a good night everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week.